Hey everyone! In the peak of summer, outdoor temperatures often rise above 30 degrees Celsius, especially in warm and sunny regions. And inside a parked car, it can easily reach 50 to 60 degrees Celsius. In this kind of heat, the only real lifesaver is your air conditioner or climate control system. On the one hand, using it seems simple. Just turn it on and it works. But on the other hand, there are common mistakes that almost every driver makes. For example, how do you use it without getting sick from the cold air? How can you extend the life of your AC system? We'll also touch on features that help save fuel, and I'll share a clever trick to boost cabin cooling. This video will be helpful for both new and experienced drivers. Chances are, you'll learn something useful. So let's get started. I've broken this video into two parts. First, how to properly cool down your car interior, and then we'll move on to the technical side of things. And just to be clear, we're assuming the system is in working condition. No damage, no refrigerant leaks, and a functioning compressor. Number 7. Heated interior and car body. Many people think that only the interior heats up while the car's body stays at the ambient temperature. But that's not true. Even a white car heats up significantly under the sun. Metal conducts heat very well, transferring it inside and making the cabin even hotter. Sure, a white car will absorb less heat than a black one, but there's another factor. The dirtier your car is, the hotter it gets. Even a thin, barely noticeable layer of dirt can increase heat absorption. So, here's a simple rule. In hot weather, wash your car more often. A clean surface reflects sunlight better. The difference in cabin temperature can be several degrees. Another common tip, cover your dashboard to reduce how much it heats up from the sun. This can reduce interior temperatures by dozens of degrees. That said, you'll see a lot of so-called experts online claiming that using reflective sunshades is dangerous, that they can reflect sunlight and cause fires or melt parts of the interior. I won't deny that in theory such things could happen, but in practice, these cases are extremely rare. If you're worried, just throw a white towel or even a few small cloths over the dashboard, especially in front of the driver. You'll instantly notice the difference. The dashboard beneath the fabric stays much cooler, and there won't be a blast of hot air coming from that area when you first turn on the AC. Another trick, spray water on the windshield using your washer nozzles. Windshields also store a lot of thermal energy. In fact, they behave almost like heated floor tiles in your home. They warm up and stay hot for a long time, even after you start driving and switch on the AC. That's why hot air continues to radiate from the windshield. But if you spray some water on it, part of that heat, maybe 5 to 10 degrees, will dissipate. The glass will cool down noticeably, and no, it won't crack when hit with cold air from the AC. Number 6. Initial driving moments. A common mistake many drivers make is blasting the air conditioner at full power, aiming the vents directly at themselves, and starting to drive without opening the windows. This often leads, in 60 to 70% of cases, to catching a cold or getting muscle aches. Another important point, when the cabin heats up, various plastic surfaces release fumes and vapors that are far from healthy to breathe. Also, when the interior reaches 60 degrees Celsius, the AC system has to work extra hard to cool everything down. That's why, during the first 200 to 300 meters, or a few minutes, it's best to open the windows. This helps release the hot air and plastic fumes, making the cabin feel less like a sauna. After that, close the windows and turn on the AC. The system will cool the cabin more efficiently, and the compressor won't be under as much strain, which helps extend its lifespan. One more tip, direct the airflow upward, toward the windshield and your feet. If your car doesn't allow single-zone control, just aim it at the windshield. Avoid having cold air blow directly onto your body. It won't cool you faster. Instead, it might make you sick. Indirect airflow helps the cabin cool more evenly and comfortably. Number 5. Maintain a moderate temperature difference. For your health, it's best to keep the temperature difference between the outside and the car's interior within 5 degrees Celsius. So, if it's 30 degrees Celsius or hotter outside, setting the cabin temperature to around 25 degrees Celsius should be comfortable enough. Only if you're used to colder environments and confident in your health should you consider lowering it further to around 18 to 20 degrees Celsius. Try to keep the temperature difference between the inside and outside of the car within 5 degrees Celsius or a maximum of 10 degrees Celsius to avoid unnecessary stress on your body. Number 4. Recirculation mode. Many drivers underestimate the recirculation function during summer and tend to use it only in winter for some reason. But in reality, it's a great way to save fuel and cool the cabin faster. When this mode is activated, hot air from outside doesn't enter the cabin. Instead, the already cooled air keeps circulating inside, gradually dropping the temperature further. Once the desired temperature, let's say 22 degrees Celsius, is reached, the AC compressor cycles off more often. This helps you save fuel, cool the car more efficiently, and extend the life of your air conditioning system. Number 3. Regularly clean the air vents and replace the cabin air filter. The air vents play a key role in creating a comfortable environment inside your car. It's one of the main components of the air conditioning system. It cools the air and reduces humidity. However, the air vent also creates a warm and moist environment that becomes a breeding ground for bacteria and mold, some of which can be harmful to your health. That's why it's important to clean the air vents regularly, at least a few times a year, or as it gets dirty. Over time, the cabin air filter collects dust, dirt, and allergens, and it can also harbor mold, mildew, and bacteria, all of which can be harmful. If you've taken a long drive on a dusty road or spent a lot of time stuck in traffic during the pollen season, it's worth checking your cabin filter. It may be clogged and in need of replacement. Make sure to replace the cabin air filter according to your vehicle's maintenance schedule, and ideally no less than twice a year. Number 2, the radiator. Condenser. The air conditioning radiator, also known as the condenser, is located very close to the engine's main radiator. The space between them is tight and hard to reach. This gap tends to collect all kinds of debris, fluff, dust, insects, and more. The condenser needs to be clean, with its fins cooling cells freely exposed to airflow from both the moving car and the engine fan. When airflow is optimal, the condensation process works at 100%, meaning your AC will cool as efficiently as when it was new. If airflow is blocked or limited, the condenser's performance drops, and the entire cooling system becomes less effective. To restore full functionality, you need to clean the condenser, removing dirt, dust, bugs, and other buildup. It's also important to clean the engine's main radiator at the same time to prevent overheating. However, accessing this area isn't always convenient. It often requires removing the front bumper. That's why many drivers put it off and drive like that for years, then wonder why their AC barely works. Another thing, over time, the AC condenser itself may need replacement. Its fins can bend or get damaged by road debris or stones. Sure, you can buy an original part, but the price is often quite high. That's why many opt for cheaper aftermarket, often Chinese-made alternatives. But here's the catch. These alternatives are usually thinner, about 1 centimeter thick, while OEM parts are typically 1.6 to 2 centimeters. The thicker the condenser, the better the system performs. So if you're going with a non-original part, always pay attention to the thickness and build quality. Number 1, pipe insulation. The AC compressor has 2 lines, one hot and one cold. The cold line is connected to the evaporator inside the cabin, but it runs through the engine bay, where temperatures are extremely high. The engine heat warms up the cold pipe, stealing away some of the coolness that should be delivered inside the car. To prevent this, you should insulate the cold pipe using a non-flammable thermal wrap with a reflective metal layer. This simple upgrade boosts the system's performance. Your AC will cool more efficiently. In my case, I managed to drop the output air temperature by about 4 degrees Celsius. The cabin was at plus 7 degrees Celsius, and after insulating the pipe, the vent temperature dropped to plus 4 degrees Celsius. That wraps up these tips. Got something to add? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching.